you've got a straight arm plank. You're just gonna start with this and holding it as long as you can. I'm gonna cut it off at about a minute or so. So goal here is keeping shoulder right over the hands. This is just something I just like to start out with. Warm up wise is a bunch of plank exercises. So what I do too is I'll raise my booty a little bit up just because I find, because of my postpartum core, still gets to my back a little bit. So you'll see my booty a little bit higher, but ideally you want to get it a little bit lower. It's just something I'm working towards. But if you do raise that booty up, try not to sit too much more back in your heels. Try to lean more forward, again, so that shoulder is right over the hand. Hi. So good goal is a minute hold. If you're feeling real strong at these and you feel like you can go longer, then I would go for 2 minutes or longer and make that kind of a goal of something that you're doing from home right now, is to work towards a 2, 3, 4 minute straight arm or even bent arm plank. 2 minutes or longer is a real good indication you got a real strong core. So now we're at about a minute. Just go ahead and go into child's pose. Just rest a few seconds. We're going to go right into a bent arm hold. So go right into bent arm now. And planks are something too when you're tuning in with me. I'm kind of getting several devices clear, baby organized, all that. So you could always work on planks kind of while you're waiting for me to get started at 9. Keep holding your bent arm plank. So always look kind of while you're waiting. You can go right into a straight arm plank hold and hold as long as you can. Or bent arm like we're doing right now. So working up to about a minute here. Rest whenever you need to. You can also go to the knees if you need to. Again, try to keep shoulders right over the elbow versus letting yourself creep back and put more weight into the legs. You want to really keep it more even between your upper body and your legs. And good. Go ahead and rest here. Casey, when you get a chance, mute your Zoom. Do you hear me? So now go straight arm plank, one leg up and the other.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Now you try to keep your leg really straight, flex your foot. So it just goes hip height. See, I'm not going higher than the hip height, and I'm really extending my legs. So see, it's now bent. Squeezing my quad to get my leg real straight, and I'm flexing that foot. Give me about 10 per side. Again, trying to really lean shoulder over the hand. You can go to your elbows on this if you need to. I'll even maybe prop up on my hands sometimes, give my wrist a little break. And you're just raising one, trying to hold like a few seconds, and then raising the other. Working up to about 10 per side. Rest when you need to. If you need to go to the knees, you could just even do like a alternating lift. Keeping that one knee down. Trying to on this keep your hip nice and even. So imagine a nice open beverage or a glass of wine or something on your booty and you're trying not to let it spill over. And good, go ahead and rest, child's pose. We'll call it Kennedy pose. Call it your pose. Now we're gonna go to the upper body, spreading the feet out a little bit, hands real narrow. Bring one hand up to one shoulder. I like to do the same shoulder. And just nice and slow. Every rep I pull my tummy in and try to keep my rib cage down. Again, so that I'm not arching my lower back. And then you're trying not to let this hip move. So you gotta really focus on keeping that hip tight. So I move slower. My feet are pretty wide, and so the next goal would be to bring them in a little bit narrower. Still trying not to move those feet. And good, go ahead, rest. Again. And now we're gonna go another one with the straight arm plank. So now, very slowly, keep the feet wide again, just like we were. Let them go to one side. So you're trying to get to the edges of the feet. Reach your arm up to the side. And then now go to the other side. Hands over. I'm going to try not to drop on my child here, so I got to really focus. So you just imagine Kennedy under you. You're trying not to squish her or fall on her. So nice and controlled. Reaching up. And again, if you need to, you could do this from your elbows.
Completely planted.
I won't be able to do it from my elbows because I'll squash the baby. And good. Go. Child's pose. Rest a second. We're going to go into side planks. This is just standard one I like to work on. So goal here is feet stacked, hip over the hip, shoulder over the elbow. So a lot of people will talk about this getting to their elbow, and while I'm talking, just keep holding, but don't let that elbow creep away. Try to keep it right under that shoulder, really tight. If it bugs you too here, stability-wise, you could use this other hand for a little bit of support if you need to, but otherwise try to lift it up to the hip or even up straight. Good goal here is 30 seconds to even a minute hold on side planks. So make that another goal. If you need to, at any point, maybe try to start with your legs straight and knees up, but then you can lower one knee if you need to. The other goal too, even in that 30 seconds to a minute, it's just you can just rest. Don't count this in your time. Say you hold 10 seconds, and then you creep back up for another 10 or 20 seconds. Okay, go ahead, switch sides. So I'm holding on that other side now. Keep holding. It's okay. It's alright. Keep holding. If this bugs your elbows at all, or you get to the point you can't hold anymore, just go to a normal bent arm plank, and that's fine too.
Hips. Oh, you slacker.
And good. Go ahead, go back to the other side. So now we're going to do a side plank with twist and reach. So I'm going to show you real quick, and then I'm going to get her binky. So side plank. On this one, I like to take the top foot and put it in front of my other leg. I take this arm, I twist down, and I reach up. Tick, 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 tick. Twist, turning my body, tick, 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 and reach. And reach. Give me about like 8 to 10 per side, nice and slow, and reach up. Go ahead and keep going, 8 to 10 per side, and then as you need to, go to the other side. Same thing on this one. You can go to the knee if needed. It's really focusing on that twisting. There we go, it's okay. And I'm going to get to the other side. If you've already got the other side, just keep going or rest up a second so that you're even. And I'm doing this from the elbow. I feel more stability on the elbow. Like I use my forearm here right in front to stabilize. But you can do this from straight arm also. And good. Go ahead, let's just rest. And we're just gonna do a little dynamic stretch. So we're gonna do downward dog to that straight arm plank. You're gonna push into downward dog, pushing back into your heels, really shrug through your shoulder, getting your head through so you're nice and extended through your shoulder. And then squeeze your booty and lean up and over those hands as much as you can. Staying really, what I call in this one, a little bit more hollow. So I'm really tucking my booty under, squeezing my booty, belly button in, leaning way over those hands as much as I can. Push back, shrug through the shoulders. Lean. And good. We're going to go to Superman holds now. So down to the ground. This is another good one to work towards holding 2 minutes. So I'm going to lift my legs nice and straight, squeezing the quad again, pointing my toes, not bending the legs to lift any higher. I'm going to feel like somebody's pulling my ankles from like a rope towards Kennedy there. And now the chin and face look at the ground, keeping your neck in line. So looking up, my neck would be all cranked up if I were standing up, right? So keep neck in line. T position with the arms. Extend the arms as tight as you can. And now work towards as narrow as you can without bending that elbow. So every once in a while, look at your elbow, make sure it's not bending, because that tricep gets lazy. You want to really hold it tight. Go ahead, keep holding Superman. Keep holding, I'll be right back.
Give me a ground fan. One of my dog hair would go in my face.
I'm lying.
There, I'll do that.
I'll just maybe bring that.
I can borrow Bill's.
Keep holding.
Good job, Stephanie.
All right, so now rest. So go ahead, let's go back to child's pose. Rest a second here. We're gonna go back to that Superman position, and we're gonna just lift the legs. So I'm pointing, squeezing my quads again. My head, forehead's gonna be down on my hands. I'm gonna lift just the legs, pointing those toes. I like to hover. If you see I'm not touching my feet, I'm hovering and lifting. Just give me about 20 of those. I'll slide over so you can see me more. If it bugs you, then just let your feet go all the way to the ground, then raise. And that's fine too. So after about 20 feet down, let's go just the arms now. Chin down. Raising just your arms as straight as you can.
Did you do that? What are you doing? I don't think that was the thing.
As narrow as you can, also with that elbow nice and straight. Now a new one